Malia just got worse news of her life with what showed up after Drunken Stupor video got out. Malia Obama and her younger sister Sasha had a wild time out this past weekend in Chicago while attending the Lollapalooza music festival. Unfortunately for them, their shocking antics were all caught on tape and the footage wasn't far less than flattering for each of them. While Barack and Michelle's eldest daughter Malia was probably still sleeping off her hangover, the country was getting a shocking preview of what her night entailed. She was seen writhing on the ground feeling the music of the Killers more than the other concert-goers and displaying a rather embarrassing set of inebriated dancing skills. Many speculated that there had to have been more than drinks involved for her to have been acting in the alarming manner that the video caught. While Malia was rolling around in the dirt, her younger sister was making out with a man she just met. The amorous duo didn't seem to care who was around during this very public private moment that was practically rated NC-17. This disgusting debauchery that was excused by the liberals as kids being kids, despite what they would have said if a Trump daughter was caught doing this, all took place during their father's birthday weekend. Just when the Obamas thought that the worst of the weekend and their poor parenting had passed, a second, worse, video obtained by TMZ emerged that makes the first not seem as bad. Malia is so out of it that she can't hold her head up, can barely walk, and had to be carted out of the concert. TMZ reports, Malia Obama rocked out so hard at Lollapalooza she needed a lift at the end of the night, as in a golf cart to take her out of the show. TMZ's obtained video showing Malia looking kinda dazed Friday night as she was carted out of the music fest in Chicago. It's unclear how much time elapsed between this video and the other footage we got of her rocking out to the Killers that night, but she's wearing the same clothes. As we reported, Barack's oldest daughter had binged and writhed on the ground with friends, basically, doing what 19-year-olds at Lollapalooza typically do. Almost people may have been charged with public intoxication and minor in possession, if she was, in fact, drinking as the scene seems to suggest. One of the perks of being the president's daughter is that you're apparently protected from these consequences, unless you're the daughters of former President George W. Bush whose twins were cited for drinking. The comparison of these cases is yet another example of the unfair double standards between liberals and conservatives. However, the court of public opinion isn't so quick to exonerate her no matter how hard liberals have worked to defend her. According to the Daily Mail, Malia's friend throws herself to the ground while Obama's daughter jokingly pretends to play the drums, matching her moves with the music. She then helps her friend up before they turn to watch the rest of the show, but the party was far from over. The night didn't end well for 19-year-old Malia. To save her from herself or perhaps others who could be on the receiving end of her violent dance moves, Malia had to be hauled off the scene by security. The only excuse we can give both of these girls is that it's hard to grow up with Barack and Michelle as parents. After all, their mom was more concerned with partying with rappers, rock stars, and anyone in Hollywood who would give her attention than she was raising her daughters. She passed that responsibility off on their girl's grandmother and Secret Service. Now, these two are just doing what they've been taught to do and suffering the humiliating fallout because of it. While there are a lot of teens who party and do stupid things, the reason that this weekend debauchery is such a problem for people is that these princesses are treated much differently than Republican presidents' kids. At just 11 years old, Barron Trump receives far more condemnation for playing with a fidget spinner, speaking multiple languages, and being close with his mother than these two do for falling on their faces drunk and making out with strangers. After the footage went viral, liberals claimed that it just shows that Malia is living her best life and to let her do her thing. Yet, these are the same people who criticize Ivanka Trump for her fashion line. Between the two, who is really living their best life? And of the claim to leave the kids alone, how come that never applies to any child or grandchild bearing the Trump name? They can't make claims of some people kids and defend worse than others, simply for how they feel about their parents' politics. I couldn't care less if Sasha and Malia want to make fools of themselves in public, but I do have a problem with this behavior being okay and everything respectable that the Trumps do being ruthlessly ridiculed.